Hello. Thank you for the tip, Anna Banana. And it is good to see some new people here. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. Angelic Saishin? Maybe? Vibe Egg? Hello. Hey, sicky boy. Hello, what up? It's me, you sickly Victorian child. So, just a quick refresher as to where we are now. We finished talking with Prince Leto. We accepted our very first mission. We got our car, all that good stuff. And we went down to the migrant camp. I believe it's over in Texas. Where it's kind of a grim scene. We passed by a lot of strange, like, pseudo-patriot militia groups. Hey, thank you again, Anonymous. Outside, and then inside, it's all clearly vampire-run, and even though this is definitely, like, a government-owned migrant camp, it's all vampires, and, that was fast. Yeah, it's not a great place. It seems like the vampires are just, like, farming these poor immigrants. But, I'm afraid we're not really here to stop it because we are Camarilla all the way. And who would say no to a good source of blood, right? I gotta stop leaning this way. If I get too close, I'll just, like, pop my camera out. So yes, oh yeah, and we showed up. We wanted to get this done with really quick and just get right back out. But the person that we're trying to meet, this Olive Krona, I believe it's Ellen Olive Krona, is busy for the night. And someone put a big parking boot on our car, so we cannot leave until they take that off. Who would say no to cozying up to Prince Leto? We did do a little bit of that too. So I'll read the last page just as a reminder of where we left off. They mull that possibility over, then say, fine, let's go. Oh yeah, this was Nalay that we talked to. We convinced them to bring us to Olive Krona's tent. They lead you to a bright red Quonset hut, guarded. It's interesting that it's bright red. Hey, thank you, Sadie. Immortal creature with supernatural powers defeated by a car boot. Hey, we're just a neonate. We don't got a lot of powers yet. It's interesting. I've been playing more of... I think it's technically actually the game that came before this, but I didn't find it until after I beat this game, so I'm calling it the second game. But the Court of... or Parliament of Knives, that's it. You are a much stronger vampire in that. You're like deep in the Camarilla court, and it's all political. It's very cool. Whereas this one, we are a... what generation? That's a good question. I would assume... I think we're 12 or 13th. I don't think it oh, there it is. 11th. My bad. Generation 11th. So not quite the weakest of them all. But I believe Leto is like 9th or so. A whelp. I think 11th is definitely still like a supernatural creature to not be trifled with. My nose feels so funny. I don't know why. I might have to sneeze. But so the other game, you start off already like a very competent vampire. You already have like a henchman and everything working for you. This one, you start off as fucking nobody and work your way up. And by the end of the game, you're definitely a real vampire. But at the start, you're kind of just some poor little gargoyle that can't stay out in the sunlight. So yeah, we got defeated by a parking boot. Guarded by a man and a woman who are also dressed in dark suits. The woman is small and tough looking. The man is big and round, like a bouncer, and even more tough looking. And sleeps in clothing donation bins. Yeah. Weakness, meter maids. I'm sorry, Nalay, the woman tells your escort, but all of Krona can't be disturbed. This is a courier from Tucson, Nalay says. The woman shifts uncomfortably. Oh, I'm sorry you feel like shit, Connie. I know, but... Is that you, Nalay? That must be all of Krona. She's inside. Is Ransom there? It doesn't matter. It'll have to wait. Just give him a place to stay for tonight. Tomorrow night, I'm busy. The four of you share what the fuck looks. It's obvious no one knows what's going on. I've been hydrating, but thank you. Hey, thank you again, Anonymous. Hey, Lady Ava. It has been a while. Welcome back. Then Nalay says, I'll find a place for you to stay, Ransom. Don't wander far. You've done your job, so you wander right back to your truck. Someone stuck a boot on it. Great. It looks like you're staying. And that's where we left off. So, let's see what happens. It's very interesting. The first time I came here, I had a... By the way, you can collect a little servant of your own this game, and I had one of them. Really changed... It did really change the rest of the game, so... It's, I like all the different possibilities for each page of this game. You get a consolation prize for your booted Nissan. A lanyard that lets you wander around without getting shot. You also get a private trailer too, complete with shower. Nice. Expecting an attack, you procure a water drum for your trailer, and partially empty it. You can store yourself in there if hunters attack. No one ever checks the water drums. Clever. You scout the camp in under an hour. At first, convinced that the Second Inquisition will show up at any minute in helicopters and troop transports. The camp is laid out like an open-air prison, with temporary Quonset huts serving as separate holding pens for men, women, and children. What is an open-air prison? Assuming it just means like a very open prison. Yeah, for the most part, it's just a lot of walls. All of these pictures are depressing as fuck. Anyways. Well, I'm gonna check the water drums now. Good. Good. Due to overcrowding, an overflow pen topped with razor wire holds several hundred more people. There is a lot of people here. Right up next to that pen is a place called Millicent's. A kind of Rick's Cafe Americaine. I've never heard of that, even though I've played this before. It was there before. I think I just kind of skimmed over it. Rick's Cafe. It looks like some wannabe tropical dive bar. I can't find a really good picture. It's all just the logo and then really bad. I think it's a chain. Deep Town Central. Or maybe it's not a wannabe. Maybe this is like a famous place that I should have heard of. Something about that sentence sounds wrong. Top 10 Jasper quotes. Wait, what? Where the vessels are so plentiful, it's almost free. After using your ID to pass the security checkpoints, you poke your head inside Millicent's and get a count. And count not just well-heeled Camarilla types, but also anarchs of all kinds lounging among the dazed-looking blood dolls, among the low couches and glittering lamps that establish a sort of 1920s French Aguilera / 1990s Pierre One store style to the place. American garbage with a French accent. Interesting. This makes 0 sense to me, but I'm just gonna move on. Why not? It sounds like it wants to be Casablanca a little bit. Maybe, maybe not. You're pretty sure the biker gang is made up of gangrel, since there are 2 wolves among the Outlanders. You also spot some creepy-looking figures in boiler suits that you've heard about but never met. Russian exiles. Mostly rabble if the stories you've heard are to be believed. Jesus, thank you very much, Anonymous. That is a lot. Boiler suit. Oh, that's just like the classic green jumper. I don't want a flashy looking one. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Alright, here's a picture, I guess. A boiler suit. Just keeps going. Oh, thank you. There we go. That is a boiler suit. It's okay, I asked for this. I'll fight you. Ah. Yes, Russian exiles, mostly rabble if the stories you've heard are to be believed. You listen in on some conversations and learn the names of a few lunatics. Is the music too loud? I feel like it's just getting more dramatic. Turn that down a little bit. Turn it down for myself, too. There we go. Okay. You might be sick, but you're still tough. It's still going! Thank you. Stay. Yo, you can barely hear the music. Really? Oh, have I just cranked it down way too much? It got pretty loud there for a little bit. I can turn it back up. Somewhere around like there or so. It is a very quiet part of the music right now, I should say. I just kept turning it down more and more and more. Oh well. You listen in on some conversations and learn the names of a few lunatics, sewer rats, and clanless hangers-on that the new, more aristocratic Camarilla wouldn't normally tolerate. You don't see any members of your esoteric order, though. Or at least, none are being obvious about it. What, no big, like, onks or something? Millicent herself is a small, frail, and elderly. Why did I put A? She is small, frail, and elderly. A peculiar choice. Peculiar. Why can't I say that? Peculiar choice. For the embrace, by most standards. She looks like a librarian. Man, I'm just too tired for this again. From a black and white movie. But it sounds like everyone is welcome to grab a drink at Millicent's. Not Lady Tremaine. Who? The RBO. Oh, Cinderella's stepmom. Interesting. That's funny. Yeah, so it mentions that it's a peculiar. I don't know why I'm trying to put an extra U in there. Peculiar choice for the embrace, because once you turn into a vampire, you stop aging, so. Hello, Carrie. Anyways, I'm going to move past the peculiar word. Nuclear and nuclear. Nuclear. I always get nuclear right. I've never said nuclear. Peculiar. Oh well. Fuck. No, I feel like I can say peculiarities. Fine. Oh well. Anyways, moving on from my inability to read this one fucking word. This is incredible. A vampire could get used to living the good life if this is what the Camarilla is offering. This place is a fucking atrocity. I'm going to deal with Camp Scheffler one way or another before I leave. No. How careful is all of Krona being here? Is this whole place just a massive masquerade breach? Or does she run a clean operation? I feel like that might be the one we'll pick. I try to have an eye towards the future, and this place can't be efficient. What ways can I see to improve it? Maybe that one too. I would love some fucking crab rangoon. My linguistic nemesis is the word subconscious. Really? Interesting. Peculiar. I think I've got it now. I think I'm good. It's okay. Mood. Hello, Artburn. One of these bottom two, but I can't decide which one. I feel like they're both pretty similar. But if we're gonna be just full cold-blooded monster here, we'll pick the bottom. You watch as a hulking lick stares a hollow-eyed vessel with a hard-looking... Shares a hollow-eyed vessel with a hard-looking Cainite in a Soviet captain's uniform. You consider weak points, slack, vulnerability. Millicent herself is a sort of half-bartender, half-madame, generously allocating blood dolls based on preference and whim. It's fun for the locals and regulars, but this place should be part of the blood trade, not just a personal playground for this mix of Camarilla anarchs and not even good enough to be anarchs, like myself right now. It's me, I'm the bot. What you need is information on all of Krona's interstate operation, and then you can really start making improvements. Or you could start with the amount of blood theft that's going on. The Soviet Cainite is using a needle to steal blood even as he drinks. Of what use is blood measured in cubic centimeters? Those look like biomedical samples. Interesting. You head back outside and check the mortal guards. They're a truly bewildering mix. Some are actual police, state police or from nearby municipalities. Others give every indication of belonging to the armed forces, from their kit to the way they carry themselves. Others are just fringe militia types, citizens patrol, patriot groups, even bikers loaded up with ammunition and given those skullcat masks. Cat skull masks, same thing, right? You see the men and women in suits, some of them wearing windbreakers or lanyards that indicate they're with ICE or Border Patrol, the FBI, or even the AFT. What is the AFT? I know all of those except for the AFT. The AFT, American Federation of Teachers, that can't... That can't be it. Okay, Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, that's it. ATF. Thank you. ATF, yes. ATF, yes, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense than the American Federation of Teachers. Drugs and guns, yeah. It's interesting that the FBI would be here because I thought they're usually Second Inquisition, but maybe they're just divided amongst themselves without realizing it. Hey, looter. Food at your fingertips, a loyal army of soldiers, and a situation that blends perfectly into the chaos and carnage mortals. Chaos and carnage mortals have wrought on one another. Ellen Olive Krona has built her own private paradise here, by certain standards. You got the quilt square to start. Nice! I don't let Discord work. Obligatory fuck ice. Yeah. You constantly see Nalay and lesser underlings running back and forth on errands to maintain the place. That's a sneaker net. Data being physically carried from place to place, from one place to another. I think that sounds better the way I was going to say it. Oh, sorry, I blocked that word. Faye. Peace was never an option. Just like what you do. Data is flowing everywhere, and it has to be coming from a central source. If you could get your hands on all that blood traffic data, who knows what Julian and you could do with it? Of course, why? Wait, what do you mean, of course? What? I'm not doing anything with Julian this game, no. Maybe I picked the wrong option. I'm mad it's a compliment. I know, I'm sorry. Of course, neither Olive Krona nor Prince Leto would be happy if Julian copied the data and set up his own little oasis. Yes, so I won't let him do that. All Camarilla are bastards. Well, I'm gonna be a bastard this game then. CAP. That's funny. Took a little bit to click in. I thought you were bananas. What? Okay, you guys are just talking them. I feed on... Oh, I don't think I need to feed. Oh, 2 hunger. It couldn't hurt, right? I feed on any of the countless sleeping prisoners in the main pit. That shouldn't be difficult at all. I go to Millicent's and select a vessel. That should be as easy as the pit, and a little more upscale. I need to hunt. I'll take the boot off my truck. Now, if I remember correctly, we got a few things to do around here, so we don't have to feed right away. We can use the blood a little bit, wait a day, and then still feed, so... We can be bastard sexual this round. I have not played any of the other World of Darkness games, no. I've read a little bit about Werewolf the Apocalypse, and just a very, very small bit, like probably 1 page worth of Mage the Ascension. I think it's Mage. Is it Demon the Ascension? I think it's Mage the Ascension. It's got to be Demon the Oblivion. I don't know. Yeah, but out of what I've read so far, Vampire is my favorite. I'll take that boot off my truck. I'll have to be quick and efficient with a few illicit tools so I don't get noticed, but it should only take a minute. Dex plus Clandestine. Not our best stats at all, I think. No, I mean, our Dex isn't as bad as our other physical stats, but our Clandestine is non-existent. This person's about as sneaky as I am. Drink water. Gani, it seems like you need to drink water. I look for something to steal. Why the fuck not? Right, just, yeah, show up to a Camarilla place, just, oh yeah, you know, I'm a fucking kleptomaniac. What? I can't let the Camarilla just feed on these people. I look for a way to free them. That's what I did last time. Because the idea of this migrant camp is just fucked beyond all, and I was playing a much more moral vampire last time. But this time, that's not the case at all, sorry. Julian wants allies. Fuck him. Fuck him. Fuck him. I don't know. I don't know what to do. Shit. Maybe we should just look for something to steal. Why not? I guess. Water is so polluted, it's about as healthy as other liquid. Any other liquid that quenches. What? Is that true? I feel like... I guess any other liquid. No, there's no way it's as healthy as soda. I don't. X. Yeah, we'll just steal something. Why Oh, if you're talking about all the microplastics in it, yeah, that's fair. An hour of scouting yields a few possibilities. Your easiest bet is to hit the temporary lockers. Once new prisoners are stripped of their valuables, lovely, so not only are these people being stopped at the border, thrown in these camps, drained by vampires, and probably just left to die of disease or lack of blood, but we also steal all their shit too, and now I'm gonna steal it. Am I? Jesus. All their equipment is stored in 5x5 storage cubes in a fenced-off part of the camp. The cubes are barely guarded, and you just have to keep your composure to that close to the guards. If you can do that, you can try opening cube doors until you find an unlocked one. Rewards will be small, but risk is minimal. If you're looking for greater, more risky rewards, you can head into one of the Quonset huts, where the least organized militia groups keep its cash and weapons. You'd have to force open one of their lockers, but they're not too well made. And you have a portable crowbar. I guess I do, right? I bought that, forgot about that. What does a portable crowbar even look like? Maybe you could even snag a firearm. That could be useful. It looks like the militias also constructed some office space out of trailers. Some of those offices hold cash and other valuables. You'd have to just be smart enough to disable the alarms, though that shouldn't be any harder than whacking a locker with a crowbar. Finally, if you're looking for some real high-risk, high-reward excitement, you could break into Olive Krona's car. Okay, maybe not hers, but there's a private parking lot behind a red tent where Olive Krona and several other members of the Camarilla keep their rides. If you're clever enough to time the guard's circuits just right, you could get inside and grab whatever is valuable is in there. No. I am watching us accomplish penetrating this vampire group to fuck Leto. A crowbar you can carry discreetly. Yeah, it feels like it's like a folding thing. No, we're not. I want Olive Krona to like me. She seems pretty high up in the Camarilla. But I think getting a gun could be helpful. There's not a lot of action in this game. It's a very social game, as I feel all Vampire the Masquerade is. But there's definitely a few situations where having a little pew-pewer of our own would not hurt. But let's see what some of our options are. I stay calm. I don't think we have much composure. We do. We have a lot of composure. I was wrong. I was thinking about the last time I played this. Our composure is fantastic. One of my neighbors was very loud. I break into the guard's locker, looking for weapons, money, or other valuables. Strength plus clandestine. Ass and ass. Not great. I disable the alarms in the trailers, looking for things to steal. Intelligence plus clandestine. I keep my wits about me and break into some nice cars. It should be it should be easy to lie to the guard watching the lot and tell them nope. My superhuman charm should let me lie to the guard more easily. Every single one of these is lying to the guards, and all clandestine, which we're not good at. Maybe we just don't. Maybe we just don't. Maybe we just don't steal. I don't think our presence is very strong either. Never mind, our presence is the only thing we have. Somehow, what do ministers even have? Sorry, not ministers. Ministers of La Sombra. The ministry. For some reason, I don't know why the ministers aren't ministry. Oh well. The ministry, also called the followers of Set Judaisms, liberators, corruptors, tempters, serpents, Setites. I guess I could just say Setite. Obfuscate, presence, and protean. What is obfuscate again? It's gotta be in here, right? Obfuscate. Fading from sight. Oh, and protean is shapeshifting. Okay, yeah, so we shapeshift. Right. Start a revolution. Ah, my jaw is very sore for some reason. Our sire did abandon us. Yes, correct. I gotta stop. I just like passively fuck with my headphone cord, and at one point it made a little zippy zap noise, and that was not good, so I gotta stop doing that. Hunger's only 2? What? You know what? Let's fuck around and find out. My superhuman charm should let me lie to the guard more easily. No, this is the guard watching the fucking lot. I don't want to steal from the Camarilla cars. I'm fine stealing from these random-ass mercenaries. Maybe not. Maybe not. You know what? Maybe we just feed. Maybe we start feeding. We'll go to Millicent's. John is having fun again. You head to Millicent's and enjoy a vessel with the other kindred. Is that it? Still expecting an... Oh, that's the whole day. Great, okay. Whatever. Still expecting an attack, you sleep fitfully that day, but nothing happens. The next evening, you head right for Olive Crona's tent, but the red tent is locked down and guarded by that Malinese. You spend the first hour of the evening looking for signs of the Second Inquisition, but there's nothing. Was Julian wrong? Reaction to affection. Oh, that might make sense. As you make plans for the evening... Shitting me, I just got the same fucking... We don't have clandestine. We can't steal. I'm sorry, I skipped. I read ahead of the prompts. This is ridiculous. 0. Where is it? Where's the... Show me the 0. Show me the 0. Zero. We're not... We're fucking clumsy. As you make plans for the evening, a hideous Nosferatu in ragged clothes appears. She introduces herself as Lenora, a facilitator among the different Anarch groups that feed in Camp Scheffler. If you're looking to aid the Anarchs here, she is willing to help. She leaves her contact information, as well as a shoebox full of camp records, as a sign of good faith. There are copies of all of Crona's contacts in the blood trade. This is exactly the sort of hard data Julian is looking for. Seems like you might have a few more nights to spend here. Maybe... I don't think it's going to be possible for us to steal something. Well, manipulation plus subterfuge. Oh, so I can get my stuff. Unless that's stealing. Do we have any manipulation? Are we very good at being manipulative? Is it not? What's up here? Yeah, okay, fine, fuck it. Fuck it, why not? We'll just do what we're best at. It's just the same prompt again of what we can do for stealing. It should be easy to lie to the guard watching the lot and tell them they need to open one of the cars so I can get my stuff. Oh, oops. Yes, we are stealing. Fine, why not? Why not? Why not? You spend a few hours watching the guards, looking for someone weak-willed enough to bluster and manipulate. Hey, thank you, Anonymous. Oh, Adam. Yeah, that's from the last game I played. The main character's name was Adam. He was very, very dumb and very bad husband. Hey, thank you, Wild Fae. 2-month streak. Nice. To your surprise, none of the militia dorks seem vulnerable to getting fast-talked. They are too suspicious. Too mean. The regular police, tired, overworked, roped into this nasty work, and unwilling to stick their necks out for anyone, actually seem like more pliable targets. After some more watching, you make your move. Hey, are you in charge of the parking? You ask a haggard-looking woman in a dusty uniform. Yeah, but Olive Crona wants her Jeep moved after what happened, you say. Do you do that, or You make sure your lanyard is nice and prominent. She focuses on that and then says, "Yeah, but I can't move anything without a supervisor, or I'll sign off," you say. Bored and unwilling to get into trouble, she says, "Fine, as long as you sign off." She leads you to the Jeep. You get in the back. Following your instructions, she drives it around the camp and parks it closer to the red tent. You thank her, sign whatever she wants you to sign, and then come back an hour later. Underneath the car, exactly where you dropped them, are a suitcase and a blazer you took from the back seat. Fuck, from Olive Krona herself. She. The suitcase, easy to open back at your room, is full of financial documentation that, unfortunately, neither you nor Julian can use without high-level government clearance. But the suitcase also has an envelope full of cash. The blazer has a hidden lining with a fistful of $100 bills. Perfect. You get rid of everything except the money. Nice. Let's check our inventory after that. Hey! Thank you, Anna Banana. That is a lot of bits. Thank you very much. Nice. $4,000. That's a lot. I think we had two. Wait, did that... I feel like we only had like less than 1,000. Did we just steal $4,000? I hope we don't get killed. Oh well. Oh well. After showering, you check the red tent, but it's sealed up tight. Olive Krona is deep in negotiations with other branches of the federal and state governments, with private, charitable organizations that need cheap labor. Lovely. What the hell? She must know you're here, but between her Melanese and her endless parade of guards, you can't get in. Worse, more and more vehicles seem to be parked around the camp. Too many people, you think. The Masquerade is endangered by this kind of lively chaos. You did get a new thing, thank you. Oh yeah, it's endangered by this kind of lively chaos. Hydrate is put out of stock. I see. I'll take that boot off my truck. I can't. I don't think I can. Alright, if we have to do something, let's boost our humanity just a little bit at least. I look for a way to free these poor people. You're not sure how you'd even begin going about a jailbreak. There must be hundreds of people here, and the relative amateurishness of the security personnel makes extracting them more difficult, not less. But as you patrol the camp looking for weaknesses in the defense, you see a few opportunities. You might be smart enough to avoid circuits and carefully snip into a few vulnerable sections. Alternatively, we can buy the sick away. I don't know if you can. I mean, like, maybe. Alternatively, though you still can't get to your truck, you might be able to borrow a vehicle and move into a position for a fast getaway. You'd have to dodge patrols all night, tiring work, requiring total focus, but once it's moved, people might be able to use it to escape. Or, assuming that at least some of the prisoners... Mod poll? I never know what to do with that. I don't think there's any mods in here either, aside from myself right now. Did our hunger go back up? No, it didn't. Good. That'd be real shitty. Wyvern? Man, I've already spent like almost an hour doing this. Fuck. We've gotten nowhere. I gotta keep reading. I'm getting too distracted. Assuming at least some of the prisoners already know a way out, you could prep them for desert survival. Someone with survival training could lift supplies from the guards and then leave a few caches outside to ease their flight. Finally, this is the simplest, though perhaps not easier than any of the others. You could just bribe some of the guards to look the other way when the time comes. Not all of them are happy about their work, and some street smarts and a roll of 20s might get you further than a lot more complicated tricks. You deserve all the moolah. Thank you. I grabbed some pliers and cut through a section of fence. All right, intelligence plus clandestine. I'm going to borrow a vehicle. Resistance. Resolve plus drive. It shouldn't be that hard to use my knowledge of the wilderness. Intelligence plus survival. I bribed some guards. Charisma plus streetwise. I use my vampiric charm to bribe some guards. All right, what are we good with? Intelligence, clandestine. We don't have any clandestine. Hey, thank you again. Bell. Not common in America. I don't know. It's just like some words I get, some I don't. I'm sorry. Do we have any streetwise? I feel like we don't. No, absolutely none. We're a leader. We're persuasive, and we're decent with lying. That's it. That's literally it. I don't think we can do any of these things. But we have to do something, so might as well use our presence and bribe the guard. Intelligence plus survival. Do we have any survival? No! No, we don't. We don't have any intelligence either. We're just a, like, manipulative fucker. That's it. So, yeah, we'll use the blood. $500 won't get you far unless you target the right people. You spend most of the night making small talk, not just with the guards, but with the civilian contractors, procurers, and handlers. Procurers and handlers who circle the camp. One woman is particularly accommodating. A non-profit employee. Her job is to procure bright and attractive Hispanic or indigenous children for Christian households in the United States. Fuck. You don't have any children to sell her, but a small initial cash outlay gets you information about which guards make good targets for bribery. Yeah, level 7. Like I said, I didn't think it went higher than 5. Thank you, guys. That's shady as... Yeah, it is. Right? It's for those people who want to adopt the perfect... Who want to adopt a token child. Don't want to adopt a kid for it being a kid. They want to adopt a kid for being an icon. So it's important how they look, I guess. This game is too real. Yeah, that's the point. Vampire the Masquerade is not supposed to be easy moral choices. Can you see the smoke? Why not? Guess you kind of can. Yeah, it's not supposed to be easy moral choices. Being a vampire is being a monster in more than just the Night Stalker way. This is not a kid's game. No, definitely not. From there, you chat up a few mid-ranking agents in the incoherent public-private partnership that guards the camp, passing out cash until they reallocate resources in a way that's best for everyone. You're back to your trailer, confident that there'll be a big enough hole for you to drive a bus through when the time comes, by 4 a.m. That did take one tick of hunger, because we did use the blood. The Rangoon has fed me. The next day, you're repeatedly jarred awake by the sound of heavy equipment moving around. Vampires sleep heavily, but your nerves are on edge all day. Every time you think, is this the attack? But nothing happens. Someone bangs savagely on your door, just as you get ready to leave. Courier! It's Nalay. Get out here. All of Krona wants to see you. You poke your head outside to confront the Ventru's underling. The sky is tinged with purple. Hey, Hype Train success. You have received a level 6 Hype Train emote! Choo-choo! Choo-choo! You poke your head outside. Oh, yes. The sky is still tinged with purple in the west. You haven't slept well in days. Meet me at the red tent. Oh, whoops. That was supposed to be very grumpy. Meet me at the red tent, they snap. Then they take off. Hopefully we don't kill kids like Adam. You've been ordered the red tent, and you feel your eyes on you. You know, that's something I never got. Why were there dead kids in that game? Were those real? Were those hallucinations? Those felt pretty fucking real. Did Adam kill those kids? Oh well, anyways. Different game, different time. It's not important anymore. It was really jarring, yeah. I'm like, whose kids were those? I got a lot of questions about that game. It felt like, yeah. In the past, man, we're moving on. After a few minutes spent checking possible exits, you enter the red tent for the first time. She has a gun to my head. She knows that I stole her jacket. No. The guard dog that's always outside takes the lead. You follow the Malinese. Most of it isn't offices like you were expecting. Instead, dozens of migrant prisoners, mostly women, are lined up in front of refurbished laptops, performing Mechanical Turk-style labor. That's a very specific reference that I wouldn't have got unless I was desperate for money in college and tried Amazon's Mechanical Turk. It's kind of a waste of time. The Mechanical Turk is very manual work that is disguised to seem automated. The name comes around from the original Mechanical Turk, which was a device called Mechanical Turk. And it was a master... I can explain it, Anna Banana, no worries. It was a master chess playing machine in a time before computers or many electronics existed at all. It claimed to be totally built out of gears. And it was incredible. The normal person could come up, play chess against this thing. You'd pick up a piece, you'd move it, the board would descend, 2 doors would close, the doors would open back up, the board would reascend, and a piece of the opposite team will have moved. It would beat almost anybody. But that's because when the board descended, inside of this box, there was actually a master chess player who would then move the piece and push the board back up. So there wasn't anything automated at all about it, except for that the doors would close, open, and the board would ascend and descend. And it was, I think it was like the 1800s or something. It blew people's mind until they figured out that there was a person hiding inside of it. Like a magic trick. Amazon's Mechanical Turk is an easy way for people to get usually they use it for like surveys or something, but they're also trying to teach AI teaching there, like facial recognition and shit like that. So it's anybody can offer work on it, anybody can accept work on it. I accepted work for a few months because I had like this desk job where I didn't do anything, so I was just clicking mindlessly through buttons. It's very easy. You like need 0 qualifications. Don't do it. I think any fast food job could pay more. But it'd be things like people would post mass surveys there, hoping to get thousands of answers, and in return for 1 minute of your time of a very quick survey or something, they'd give you 10 cents. Something like that. The more complicated ones would be like you have to click through 20 different pictures and select which faces are real faces and which faces are false. Shit like that. Like from a security camera footage to try to help the security camera recognize what's actually a person and what's not. And they'd pay you a little bit for that. Yeah, it's dystopian stuff, definitely. So when they're saying Mechanical Turk style labor, I'm assuming all of these migrant women are in front of these old laptops manually typing in data painstakingly slowly that probably could be automated at a big Silicon Valley type company very easily. Hey Jay, thank you very much. 16 months, nice. Been a while, huh? I didn't realize I've been streaming that long. Anyways, A few with good English skills appear to be phone banking for Texas politicians or Christian charity organizations. Anything for the money, right? They're not getting paid. Olive Krona is. Sounds about right, yeah. Past the security door is a crude facsimile of a government office. Facsimile? What? Facsimile? That's not a common word.
Facsimile.
Facsimile. An exact copy. Oh, I thought it was going to be a poor copy. No, a facsimile, as in like something is faxed, and it's a simile. An exact copy, a facsimile, of a government office, complete with faux wooden paneled walls and a deep blue carpet. You smell blood. You step around Nole and peer into a filing room. Olive Krona looks like the picture you saw of her. She's tall, gaunt, with long blonde hair arranged in an elaborate braid. She wears a blue-black pantsuit decorated with more silver jewelry than most government workers. Her colorless eyes meet yours. You detect a flicker of distaste and disappointment. She's currently standing over a man with 3 bullets in his chest, who is wheezing atop a folded table. You must be the minister, she says. You can tell it requires a lot of effort not to say one of the many unkind terms the other clans have invented for the ministry over the years. So I am called a minister. Oh, it's magister is La Sombra, my bad. Minister, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, of course. Fax is short for facsimile? As in facsimile? Facsimile. Why can't I read that word? What? Simile. But with fax. Facsimile. Yeah. Oh, you just spelled it very differently here than it spelled it up here. It's like fac-smile, but it's facsimile. Oh, that is what I was saying. It's just spelled very differently. Here, look at this. The man is definitely dying. He's lost a ton of blood, and Olive Krona doesn't seem interested in helping him. Nole slips past you to stand beside Olive Krona and study the dying man. The Malinese watches without making a sound or moving. Other way around, oh well. I just can't read tonight. For pity's sake, Olive Krona, call a doctor. If it's so important that you save him, give him some vitae. I was sent here because your whole operation is in danger. If this man worked for the Ivory Tower, I might already be late. Too late. This man is doomed. Point me at whoever did it. I'm happy to break heads for the Camarilla. Pay me, and I'll get rid of whoever did this. The man is dying anyway. I drain him of blood. What a move that would be. Look at this. Oh yeah, don't mind if I do. Lovely. I'll choose this option. I was sent here because your whole operation is in danger. If this man worked for the Ivory Tower, I might already be too late. It sounds like Leto was late, Olive Krona says. Or at least sloppy. Miguel here is his ghoul after all. Leto should have loaded you up with more juice, eh, Miguel? The man's eyes meet Olive Krona's. Then they look past her and turn glassy. He's dead. See if he has anything else, the Ventrue tells Nole. She's cold and fucked up. You should go to bed. No, not yet. The retainer adjusts their gloves and searches the dead man's Arizona Diamondback jersey. They find a card for the Viper nightclub with 4 inscrutable words written on a back. Ask Julie for ticketing. I don't remember a Julie in this game. I don't need sleep, I need answers, yeah. I'm appreciating the vocabulary lessons. Numb flashbacks of my spelling days. Right. Oh, whoops. Give me the USB, Olive Krona tells you. Right. Your job. You finally hand her the USB. Olive Krona opens a laptop and inserts the USB. A command line interface asks for a password, and she enters Ask Julie for ticketing. Oh, okay. That came back into the circle a lot sooner than I thought it would. A folder opens, full of PDFs. The Ventrue glances at the two of you, then turns the screen away. You wait for her to explode into action when she realizes the Second Inquisition is coming. Her response is disappointing. The Second Inquisition is coming, Olive Krona says. Thank you, Leto. Yeah, Thank you, Nalé. Nalé clears their throat, then says, Isn't that a problem, ma'am? An opportunity, Olive Krona says, rubbing the head of her Malinese. The animal does not react. For too long, I've tolerated all kinds of trash at this open feeding hole. Now the SI gives me an opportunity to get rid of the anarchs, the hangers-on, and the filth. I don't know why. Every time I read hangers-on, I am reading that right, but for some reason, for me, it would sound better like hanger-ons? Hanger-ons? Or just, I don't know, hangers-on. So, something about that word just sounds strange. Maybe just call them the leeches, just get past that weird phrasing. We will take the data we've gathered here and use it to stake another claim in a holding. Well, use it to stake a claim at another holding facility. There are dozens to choose from. And the new one will be for the Camarilla alone. She can crack me open with the boys any day. They suck blood through those cheekbones. She checks what Leto wrote her again. Yes, this confirms what I know and what I've planned for. Nalé, a kill team from the Information Awareness Office at the Pentagon will be here in the morning. Your plans are waiting for you in your office. Read them now. Leave us. Nalé gets out of there, leaving you with a very satisfied-looking Ventrue. At the moment, she is every inch a Ventrue. The Ventrue, a born leader, always 3 steps ahead, always totally in control. She looks you up and down, hardly bothering to hide her distaste, then gestures for you to sit. So you're still here, she says. If you're looking for more work, I could use you, Ransom. I can't say I've had good relationships with the followers of Set in the past. Nonetheless, I understand that the world has changed, and I reward loyalty. Her eyes narrow and her earrings glitter in the cheap artificial light. I return loyalty. That's all we kindred have, you know. Our bonds with each other. You feel cut deep. That is a good sentence. Technically, you finished your job and should be able to walk right back to your truck. But before you can say anything, Olive Krona says, Camp Scheffler can always use a competent professional who is not already entangled in local politics. In exchange for helping me with certain matters here, perhaps I could teach you something. This might be an opportunity to get even closer to the Camarilla. Well, then consider me in. Yes, thank you. Last time I just sat quietly, but if you're offering to teach me your arts, I'm interested. I reserve my right to remain silent. I don't teach the secrets of my clan to just anyone, Ransom, Olive Krona says. You must earn my respect. Our mental powers and our near invincibility are not tricks that anyone should be allowed to learn, you understand. She settles her hand on the Malinese. Again? Does she ever take it off? nor are my personal discoveries about how to command beasts. But if you aid me, yes, I'm willing to spill my blood for you and teach you my secrets. Disciplines available from Ellen of Krona: Animalism, Dominate, Fortitude, and Presence. We already have Presence, but the other three we don't. So it is possible to learn disciplines from other vampires by feeding off of their blood and learning from them. Hydrate, then tell Gani to hydrate. I'll be straightforward, if cautious. I'm here to help the Camarilla. I'm impressed with what you've done here. I need to start transferring data and power from all of Krona to me and Julian. I choose my words carefully. My real goal is freeing the prisoners. I consider what I should say. No. I'll be straightforward. So animalism is it's interesting. This game has shapeshifting, which, if you're like a more animalistic person, you can shapeshift into looking more like an animal. But it also has animalism, which is the ability to speak and control beasts. Dominate is like Presence. Presence is very much like the super ability of persuasion. Dominate is almost like the super ability of intimidation. Presence, you can usually weasel your way into conversations without them realizing that you're using your power, unless they're also a vampire. But Dominate is just the overbearing feeling of dread that you instill. And then Fortitude is extreme toughness. Do we have any intimidation? No, we got fucking 0. Maybe it helped to get a little Dominate. Wink wonk. So I'll be straightforward if cautious. I'm here to help the Camarilla. I'm impressed with what you've done here. So you're something more than Prince Leto's pet errand boy, Olive Krona says. I'm glad you recognize what I've been able to create here. Ugh. The Ventru's going to manipulate the fuck out of our dumbass. Yeah, but if it helps the Camarilla, I'm here to help the Cam, okay? This operation is really incredible. I stay on my best behavior and compliment her. It's easier right now than leaning on her. Charisma plus persuasion, that's probably our best one. Actually, just looking at the other options, I don't think we'll even read through them. But it is the best one. It's incredible that we've made it this far, the Ventru says. Anarchs are still worse than stray dogs. The Outlanders are the worst of them. I offer a safe haven with plenty of food, and they keep running around the desert picking off strays. What if they kill a citizen? That could expose my daylight identity. She considers you for a moment, then says, Ransom. It is Ransom, right? I need you to run some information to Prince Leto. I'm interested. If it means more Leto time, I'm in, you say. You say all of that. You definitely say all of that. My response to Leto will include all the ways the non-Camarilla kindred have exposed our operation, or carried on in ways that are disgraceful and dangerous. I definitely say that. You'll be paid, of course. But in addition, I will consider a more extensive arrangement for when I establish a more efficient version of this camp. I would not want you going to work permanently for Leto, after all. Well, sorry, but I would. Your name is Random. It's Ransom. It is Ransom. I know I said random when we were picking, but at least in the game. No. That SI raid, you say. You don't want to sound alarmist or impugn all of Krona's abilities, but I'll see your cars move to a secure location, she says, and free to move, of course. Also take this. Leto's superior to you. She hands you a folded map of the facility. You scan it and tuck it away. This will be useful however things go down. I give those to people I trust, Ransom, Olive Krona says. Somehow she makes it sound like a threat. That's why I spent all my goblin coins. I'm sorry. Rest in peace, goblin coin. You'll get it back. Olive Krona's complacency is alarming, but also strangely convincing. Has the supernatural charisma of Clan Ventrue subtly influenced your reaction? No, certainly not. Definitely has. You stand up, confident that you can help the Camarilla manage a successful evacuation so that they can rebuild elsewhere. The Melanese escorts you out, then freezes, and finally reacts to something. Anything. Snarling at the man in the door. Oh boy. You're a hard woman to find, Ellen. I can't believe you made me leave my gamer chair. You turn at the familiar voice. Julian Sim stands in the doorway. The Ventrue racks her brain for a moment, then says, The water boy. Julian Sim, the Banu Hakim says. He's wearing a Junji Ito hoodie and a sly grin. I love Junji Ito. I'm not going to look him up. I don't know. It might be... That's probably not too gory for Twitch. He's a very popular... Maybe the most famous Japanese manga horror writer, drawer, artist. Anyways. Yeah, my favorite one is definitely the Enigma of Amigara Fault. It's a very haunting story. I like it. Ellen waits a beat. You realize she's waiting for her retainers to swarm Julian. But they don't come. She reacts graciously to that revelation, gesturing for her dog to stand down. What do you want, boy? She asks the Assamite. I want you to stop overestimating your chances, Julian says. He tosses a plastic folder full of photographs and documents on Olive Krona's desk. Fuck, I'm reading so poorly tonight. Her eyes widen as she sorts through them. The IAO kill team is going to smash you to paste and then light that paste on fire, Julian says. You don't have time to pack everything in neat little boxes. Get out now. But all your hard work, very sad. Run a tighter ship next time. How dare you, fledgling? Olive Krona snaps. The Melanese snarls. That's Dr. Fledgling to you. GS10? Oh, whoops, sorry. That's Dr. Fledgling to you. GS10. I had to look that up again. GS10 is a classification of government worker. Fuck, I can't remember exactly what it is. He's kind of shitting on her, though, because he has a PhD and she doesn't. GS10, General Schedule, 2022. What? No. What is the GS10? What is a GS10? Master's degree. Oh, didn't know that. Okay. So he has a PhD and she only has a master's. Is the 10th pay grade in the General Schedule pay scale. Pay scale is used to determine the salaries of most civilian government employees. The GS10 is generally held by white-collar employees in mid-level positions. Gotcha. That's what a GS10 is. Uzumaki. Uzumaki. Why is that so familiar? Anyways. What's your degree in? Well, I don't know. A lot of things. The point is, I'm offering my services to expedite your evacuation. OCR scanners? Encryption? Olive Krona asks. No. Then what? I drove here in a van full of librarians from the University of Arizona. Olive Krona's eyes dart back from you to Julian and back to you. Ransom, keep an eye out on what keep an eye on Sim while his librarians help me pack. Girl who's spiraling. I gotta look that up. Uzumaki is so... Is that Naruto? No, why have I heard this before? Oh no, it is Naruto Uzumaki. Nice, look at that. Oh, because Uzumaki just means spiral. So, I don't think I've actually read this Junji Ito story. I'll have to though, it looks very interesting. But yeah, it's Naruto Uzumaki. The moment you're out of Olive Krona's earshot, in the fast emptying main room of the red tent, Julian takes you by the elbow and says, "You better not be helping Ellen. Get me the information I need from this place, and I can rebuild it data point by data point somewhere else. Ellen can't. She thinks she can, but she doesn't have the time or expertise." You glance around. At least one of Olive Krona's retainers are watching Julian at all times, so Julian can't actually fight you if you defy him. Get your fucking hands off me, Julian. If you want to help, go pack some boxes. I'm doing what I need to survive the night, Julian. You should try that instead of all these schemes. Unlike you, Julian, I'm capable of loyalty. Olive Krona and I are working together on this. Oh, fuck, alright. It's the point of the game where I have to decide. If Julian thinks he can cut me a better deal than Olive Krona, I'm changing sides. Fine, I'll make sure you get what you need. I really do like the idea of duplicating this place, with me and Julian in charge instead of the Camarilla. Okay, I'll get you what you need. No. Unlike you, Julian, I'm capable of loyalty. Olive Krona and I are working together on this. Julian just shakes his head. You're making a mistake, Ransom. We're young and allowed to make mistakes, but not forever. He signals his librarians and starts grabbing whatever he can get in his hands. Now, you're going to work while Julian steals everything he can. You step outside the red tent. I almost clicked restart. No. I'm curious if that fucked my relationship with him. I don't know why No, it's still great. Probably is gonna tank after this. He signals his librarian. Oh yes, you step outside the red tent. The evacuation is really kicking off, with Olive Krona coordinating her underlings and Julian pretending to help. While chatting with you, he seems friendly at the moment, and stealing as much as he can. You consider how you can help, or help, as the case may be. He's a friend of librarians. Never thought I'd see the day I'd opt for siding with Ventrue, but here we are, yeah? Anything for Leto, right? Olive Krona keeps a lot of files and equipment on lockdown in the red tent. What is she hiding in there? If you could keep your wits about you, you could use them as a distraction. You could use the distraction to break into her secure area and see what's back there. Fuck. Anything for Leto. You know Sferatu contract. Why can't I read? What up? I'm 19. I never learned how to read. I'm not actually 19. Your Nosferatu contact, Lenora, could help you organize the Anarchs to load up supplies, which could take leadership skills and attention to detail, most notably to make sure they didn't steal too much. We're pretty good at that. If you're smart and technically inclined enough. We're not. But we could... that doesn't even make sense. Extensive computer data is waiting to be transferred out. The equivalent physical data, boxes, files, folder maps, and mimeographs, would require an equal degree of intelligence, as well as a good understanding of academic research techniques in order to grab the most valuable material. We have neither of those. Hey, see ya, Artburn. Thanks for stopping by. Olive Krona's operation is already a mess. Whether digital or physical, someone with a keen eye for detail might be able to hang around and spot everything that gets dropped, misplaced, or misfiled. There's a lot of equipment to move, and the cat-masked guards aren't helping. Why would they? This is vampire business, and most of them don't understand what's happening. But you could ask Olive Krona for money and pass out some of her cash around to the guards to get them working for you. And while the Russian Brujah would have to be persuaded to help, their tent is right next to Olive Krona's. If you could convince them to help with the evacuation instead of just fleeing, they might be useful. Whatever you do, you can't let this data get caught in the open. If the SI hits you before it's packed up, it will be a significant breach of the Masquerade. Resolve plus leadership. I think we actually do have good resolve. No, I lied. We don't. We have composure. That's the one thing that I didn't have last game that we have this time. We do have good leadership, but not good resolve. I'm going to borrow a vehicle and hide it so the prisoners can make a quick getaway. We don't really have resolve. We don't have drive. Oh, intelligence, academics, clandestine, none. Streetwise, none. Here we go. I need to convince the Russian Brujah to help. Charisma plus persuasion. That's something we can do. Or we can use our presence. But let's start with convincing the Russian Brujah to help. You've met all kinds of Brujah. Criminals, philosophers, revolutionaries, scientists, would-be Camarilla and eager anarchs. People you've trusted to have your back, and people you wouldn't trust with a thimble of unguarded blood. But you've never actually met the Russian Brujah before you came here. Stories say they ruled the Soviet Union, struggling to turn it into a vampire paradise. That sounds like so much bullshit, but you have enough sense not to say it in front of them. There are no visible guards outside the Brujah's Quonset hut, and you enter without difficulty. The interior space has already been prepped for transit. You pass beneath naked light fixtures and a long table stacked high with clear plastic containers full of old-world treasures. Russian Brujah, I'm sure that'll be easy. No, stop. I'm not gonna try a bad Russian accent. Courier, a young woman in a plain gray suit says. She has a severe haircut and wears no makeup. What does that mean, a severe haircut? Is that a kind of haircut? I will hydrate, yes. I don't know, it looks like it could be any number of things, but yeah, it looks like the general idea is really blunt and short. There's no, like, specific one. No, that is my alarm for thinking about bedtime. For a bad accent. Come out like, fucking FPS Russia. If anybody is familiar with that flashback in YouTube history. Hello again, my friends. This is the FPS Russia. You're welcome. I'm not going to do that anymore. His accent was also faked, by the way. There's a whole, like, big YouTube breakdown, but he's just an American doing a Russian accent. You should have already fled. You're not surprised that a coterie of Russian Brujah know when to pack up and run. The only question is how to persuade them to help you pack. These Cainites didn't survive 2 revolutionaries and any number of purges by sticking their necks out for other people. After some back and forth with their leader, though, you figure out the weakest link in the Brujah transport operation. Who they're going to be when they get wherever they're going. They don't have identification, so literally who they're going to be. Olive Krona's a federal agent, you point out. If you help her transport some of the equipment, We understand, courier, the woman says. You need not walk us through each step like we are children learning to dance. Mikhail, go speak to Olive Krona about this. Give her no promises until we have her identification. The bald and sullen Brujah, currently loading up personal effects. What? Personal effects, okay, whatever. Currently loading up personal effects, nods and disappears at the main door. I can stay up if I keep doing bad Russian accents. No, please. You return to the red tent just as Julian and Olive Krona finish emptying the government boxes. They're arguing in acrimonious and frightened tones. Another word I don't know. Oh.
Acrimonious.
Acrimonious. Angry and bitter. And the camp is in chaos. Nalé pushes their way through the crowd to speak with Olive Krona. They're limping. Two of their fellow retainers are helping a third get out of her ballistic vest. You can see. Why do I keep wanting to put an SH? You can see she's been shot twice. You can see she's been shot twice. Listening carefully, you hear Nalé say, "All around the camp already. They'll be here in less than an hour," and Julian holds up a hand for Nalé to be silent. The Banu Hakim cocks his head and listens. The retainer shakes their head, but you hear what Olive Krona and Julian hear. The faint drone of helicopters. You're almost out of time. Okay, what else can we do? Not a lot. We're just not that smart. We're very people-focused. So, we do only have... Oh, fuck, we have 2 hunger. Oh, we can feed when we get back, right? So first, I invoke my supernatural charm. Why not? Presence. You concentrate your vitae, invoking your aura of majesty. I think the only other thing... Charisma plus streetwise. Do we have any streetwise? Because we only have 1 resolve. No, we have 0 streetwise. Alright, maybe the best thing we can try is to work with Lenora and the Anarchs to get the equipment loaded onto other vehicles. Resolve plus leadership. Lenora is speaking with the Gangrel, a ragged and silent group in constant, unsettling motion. A huge black wolf, also a Gangrel, circles you, suspicious but not exactly hostile. But the Anarchs fear the SI as much as Olive Krona does. You organize them into small teams and get them loading equipment and breaking down supplies. They steal just enough to feel good about it, which is fine by you. Alright, Power of the Blood helped us through that a little bit. You peer into the back of your Nissan, which is currently full of whatever equipment and information Olive Krona's flunkies could toss into it, including a whole file cabinet and several old tower-style CPUs. Fascinating. Last time I did this, I was a Julian simp, and it was not Olive Krona's flunkies that threw stuff in there. It was the librarians that Julian hired. Anyways, elsewhere, the evacuation is proceeding smoothly. Or at least, it is until prisoners suddenly swarm out of their holding cells. Olive Krona and Julian both see what's happening, and with the bloodless calculation of vampires with too much to worry about, they go back to their packing. It's time to roll, Olive Krona tells Nalé. The retainer nods and gets Olive Krona and the Malinese into her jeep. Julian sighs. You don't think he was able to steal too much from the Blue Blood, and hops into his Sprinter van. Prisoners are escaping in every direction and in whatever way they can. You watch the chaos for a second, but then an F-15 behind you lays on its horn and flashes its lights, like you're not rolling fast enough in a Burger King drive-thru. The convoy is moving. You roll through the main gate. Julian used to say that when a plan went perfectly, everything was boring. It's a good point. Silencing your humor. What? What you say? Oh, Automata, I'm sorry. All right, let me read that again because it's funny and highlights why I like Julian. Julian used to say that when a plan went perfectly, everything was boring. He only said that about his StarCraft games, but it applies in real life too. There's some action behind you, and a helicopter screams overhead 10 minutes up the road. But if the information awareness officer or whoever authorized this op expected a pitched battle. They should have struck earlier. You're gone. I think it's almost the end of the chapter, which will be a good place to end this. Hey, Polka Dot. Welcome back. Since dawn is so near, the convoy starts to break up half an hour outside the camp. You find a location taped to your sun visor. 5 more minutes of driving. You're just starting to feel nervous as the eastern sky lightens, and you turn onto a dirt road and arrive at an abandoned wildlife conservation facility. Boarded up, but so far from any major highways that graffiti has barely touched it. You check inside. The windows are covered and no light can get inside. This will do. You head into the abandoned building to rest. Oh, not the end of the chapter yet. You get back on the road the moment the sun sets. You keep off major highways. The radio is full of wildly incoherent. No, it is incorrect. I read that right. Incorrect chatter about an invasion of Mexicans and the federal agencies trying to round them up. You reach Tucson before midnight. You stop at the Viper. The Eagle Prince's flunkies show up to take the data all of Krona loaded into your Nissan. While they work, they talk about how a storage facility off exit 306 also got raided by the police. At least one of their number died in a shootout. You make sure the retainers don't steal anything that isn't theirs. Then, head inside. The Milanese is waiting for you. The dog jerks its head, signaling for you to follow. At the Viper? Fascinating. This never happened before. This is new territory for me. Oh, fuck, Julian, I'm so sorry. But look at that. Look at that. We're golden. We're already in Leto's pants. It's already, we're there. I'm so sorry, Julian. I really do care about you. And if I were a vampire, I would be picking you, but not this time. I'm sorry. Sorry, Julian Simp. All of Krona is waiting for you in a well-appointed meeting room of the Viper you've never been in before. She's dressed in a long black gown, like she's going to the opera. Her Milanese curls up next to her leather armchair and watches you, red stones glittering on its collar. I promised a reward if you helped me, all of Krona says, and I keep my word. Yes! Good shit! One of these options is interesting, but I'm not going to pick it. I think we can help each other. I don't want what happened at Camp Scheffler to happen at Camp Ransom. You understand? I want to help her. I want her help hiding from the SI. Because in the end of this game, there's there's multiple paths you can go down, I guess, but one of them is your own. No. You don't survive in the vampire world if it's just you. I think. I'm not a vampire. Maybe. But I would be honored to study under you. And I really would. She's always kept her word to me after all. This last option. I despise this woman for what she's done and what she'll do in the future. I just leave. If I got this far, why not? You sink to your knees as Olive Krona removes one of her opera gloves and digs into her wrist with a nail. Her blood tastes like nothing. Nourishing, perhaps, but flat and neutral, like some kind of stimulation of vitae. But then the whispers start, the insinuations. You feel the awesome power of Clan Ventrue. Strength, mastery, control. You pull away before you're overwhelmed. I can remain for a few nights to instruct you, Olive Krona says, sealing up her wound. In that time, you will learn to control mortals and beasts. You might even learn to control yourself. Ooh, little diss. I'm gonna need water. I didn't know our boy would be here before the end of the chapter. They do mention the dog a lot, which is making you nervous for some reason. Prince Leto is on the stairs between the rooftop Elysium and the Viper's semi-public areas. He's dressed in a tuxedo, as if he's about to hit a nicer place than the Viper. "Ah, Ransom," he says when he sees you. "It is good to see you in one piece after the SI got through with Camp Scheffler. My man, Alexander, has prepared a room where you can type up what happened." Leto's ghoul, Alexander, leads you to a room with an old-fashioned typewriter. When the ghoul scans your work, he says, "Prince Leto will be satisfied with this. Let us hope that we can find a way to rebuild quickly." Alexander hands you your money. You head back to your Nissan and make sure the money adds up. You return to your parking garage and park the Nissan. You secure your haven, rechecking the security systems you established upon moving in, and go to sleep. What? That's still not the end of the chapter. Ah, yes, we are choosing a conviction now. That day, you dream of flying. But this isn't a regular flying dream. No, this isn't even a dream. A memory. Or is it real? You're in an old single-engine prop plane high above the desert at night. You can almost reach out and touch the moon. You spot the Italian fighter plane too late, and a moment later, its twin Vickers are ripping into the wings of your Albatross D3. You twist through the air, but it's getting late, and the rising currents of hot air you rely on are almost depleted. Bullets shred your engine. The black smoke would choke you if you breathed. For the past 3 weeks, it had seemed as if all of the Sahara only held 2 planes. In seconds, you realize it will only hold 1. Flames spread across your cockpit, but you know this is a memory. You tell yourself that you already survived this, but you're struggling to remember how, as smoke swirls around you. I yanked the control stick down with all my strength and skill. Oh, shit. I don't think I got this last time. I just got a... Wow, okay. This is like a free level up. Crashing was safer than burning. Increases strength and drive. Both skills that we need. I kept my composure and nursed the engine, ignoring the flames and holding the Albatross aloft for as long as I could. Increases composure and technology. Also, both skills that we need. Actually, our composure is pretty good. I was nimble enough to jump off and roll in the sands. Increases dexterity and athletics. Both skills that we need. We need all of these. I listened to the sound of the wind over the damaged wings, using that to guide me down to the safest possible landing. Alright, what do we need the most? It's an awareness. Wits is bad. Awareness is bad. Oh, they're all bad. They're all bad ass. Ass. But I'm thirsty. No. I will let you guys give us brain cells. Is there one for intelligence? There's not really. Technology is an intelligent-based stat, but I'll let you guys vote on this one. What? The stat. We got 4 options. 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess I could type them out. Strength plus. Strength plus drive. Composure plus tech. Dex plus athletics. And wits plus awareness. All right, you guys can vote for it. Anything going on in her vapid head. Malin Noir. Noir? Is it not? Have I been saying that wrong this whole time?
Malinois.
Malinois. Shit. Okay, my bad. It's not Malinese. Malinois. Oh, God. Malinois. Fascinating. Yeah, that's my bad. Wits plus awareness. Spoonie has been having a stroke. I'm sorry. That's not how you pronounce that. No? But the Google says it is. Malinois.
Malinois.
Malinois. Anyways, wits plus awareness, you guys said. What is that option? I listened to the sound of the wind over the damaged wings, using that to guide me down to the safest possible landing. People on the ground respect a pilot's bravery and skill, but rarely her keen awareness of her surroundings. To hear the changing wind, feel the shift of gravity and inertia, to see a cloud and know what it foretells. This, more than anything, is what has kept you in the air. Until now. Oh, vapid. Is not vapid like vape? Kind of vape. Is it vapid?
Vapid.
It is vapid. Should be vapid. Rapid with a V. No, it's vape. Vape Nash. Vapid. But even as your albatross burns, you rely on these skills one last time, listening to the sounds of your shredded wings, using the control stick to counterbalance their disintegration. And you stay aloft. Vapid. Now it's definitely vapid, but it's also definitely vape-id. For just long enough. Then, you slam into a dune. Your body tumbles in the air and lands in a shattered heap on the nearby slope. You smell burning, wood and metal, but not burning flesh. And as you drag yourself away from the wreckage, you contemplate what you've learned these past few weeks. Vape Nash! October 1917. Before this war, you kept to the ways of the Banu Hakim, if not exactly to the ways of the mortal empire in which you exist. And in the times of chaos, you have come to respect the elders and their ways even more. Not just your own elders, even the traditions of the others, the Camarilla, have earned your grudging respect. Princes and primogen, laws and mutual respect, backed up by the wisdom and power of the elders. As the world grows more complex in these modern nights, that is the only way a Canaanite can thrive. The traditions, however they are called, keep us safe and separate from savagery and endless war. The traditions and the elders are usually fine, but I will not swear an oath to them unless I must. Or, I defy this false belief. The elders are parasites, their laws are traps, and we must shake off their yoke wherever we can. No. We are Camarilla all the way. The traditions, however they are called, keep us safe and separate from savagery and endless war. You're no fool. You've met plenty of cruel, selfish oafs among the elders. But the system itself works. And in these modern nights full of cameras and contrivances? What? Contrivances. The use of skill to bring something about or create something. I am so lost. I'm so tired. I should go to sleep. the laws of secrecy, what the Camarilla call the Masquerade, are the most important. And they must be enforced with the might. They must be enforced, yes, with the might and wisdom of the elders. You will support those laws if you can. Apparently there are 2 different pronunciations. Are there really? Oh, I was just joking about the vapid. I just think it's very funny. Vapid, sure, I accept that, but I think vape is amusing. You've learned quite a bit on your journeys. You might consider applying your experience towards training skills. What? Is this not the end of a chapter? We're stopping here. This is the point where we level up. We can level up next game because I'll be picking through our skills and figuring out what we need. But I'm going to stop here. Because this will take a little bit. And it's getting late and I need to sleep. I know this chapter is dragging on and on. I think the chapter doesn't actually start till we begin the next mission. If I were to... Yeah, one of these last 2. Picking up the parcel and going off. So we'll level up first next time and keep going from there. So that is it for now. Jackaboy, please. Is it? Oh, next Thursday, Thursday before Halloween. Nice. I gotta limit the thirst on the streams. Found 3 websites with those pronunciations. There's also a lot of websites that just have very bad pronunciations, but I'm so thirsty. I could make a clip, yeah. Pick something not thirsty. 3 is okay. 3 what? 3 websites? That is true. That's a fair point. Anyways, it's late. I need sleep. Thank you for watching. Have a good night. I will see you next Thursday. But, bye-bye for now.